No, we just met another guy flying by a million miles an hour. Calls were about 4 miles from our place. We're actually doing pretty good. We're going about 3 miles, give or take, maybe 4. Notice he's flying down the road and I just comment how, I can, some guys, their heads are into something, that's what they can do. And I comment how that when I was a soldier in the Army, I was never very good as a unit soldier because I just couldn't do things the way they wanted me to do. So eventually the Army, if you got skills, they want you, so they put me in the IMA. And that's what that is, Individual Mobilized Augmentee. As a soldier, he has a lot of skills, but he doesn't necessarily fit into a unit. He's not like, he may get along with guys, but he's not necessarily someone who can keep up or do things. So I was commenting how IMA soldiers could do very dangerous missions or sometimes very simple missions. One mission that I had was getting some Jews out of East Berlin one time. Average soldier couldn't do that, but I did that very easy. I thought it was kind of a joke. Another thing I was just mentioning was the shirt that I was wearing last night, the undershirt for Indian Town Gap. I got that shirt, my wife knows the story very well, how I got that shirt because we were in war games against another group of guys called Major Albanese. And Major Albanese went to the thing and they were trying to divide the guys up, and a lot of guys wanted to be on my side because they knew what I was like. They knew what I was like. And they said, and Albanese came in and said, he laughed at me and said he was going to sweep up the floor with me. I said, sure, I didn't say anything. But just so happened that field exercise was over a Shabbos, so as you know, I couldn't do much about it. But I planned a thing out where I had my guys plant in front of his areas on the ground and just wait. And I took another group of guys and I had them attack their area, and they got chased all across the valley. And it looked like, on paper, that we were getting our butts kicked, So what happened is my guys, I made them actually take their clothes off and swim across the creek, and they had to march all the way back around the perimeter, all the way back to where our headquarters were, our TOC was. We left like 3 guys back there, so we tied down half of Albanese's forces. And then meanwhile, Albanese, doing his calculation, figured that he had me dead on the run. So he took his forces and went to attack my TOC headquarters. What I did is he never expected my 10 guys to walk all the way around and meet him there. And meanwhile, when we saw them all leave, all our guys that were underground just came out and attacked his headquarters. And what we did is my guys deliberately held him by and then opened up the valley, let him in, and when he got into my headquarters, there was a big, giant sign, smile face, which we yelled in, the big, Worcester smile, saying, Major Albanese, if I were you, I would not be here. I'd be back at your headquarters. We got you. By the time he got back to his headquarters, of course, they came back into the valley. He surrounded them and wiped them out. So it was very funny because one of the guys, Rafferty, who my wife knows, I moved the couch for him one time, said, man, Fleischman's like the Tasmanian devil. And everybody said, and then they had a review. They were having this review from the guys that were on and things. So now, what do you think went right and what do you went wrong? Albanese, well, I went there and I went over here. I never said nothing. I just sat there and didn't say a word. So anyway, when they finally got around to my side, they said, well, you guys have to have some kind of comment. What did you just do to win? I mean, this is like a spectacular victory. You wiped out Major. You only suffered 3 casualties. You wiped out his whole platoon. He each had like 50 guys. You suffered 3. You captured and killed every one of them except for 2 of them. And he said, wow, he goes like, what did you just do? And Sean goes, well, Fleischman was like the Tasmanian devil, man. So that's how I got the shirt, because when he went to the PX after, he saw it. Look at that, the Tasik Fleischman, you're wearing the shirt. So he bought me the shirt. But at the thing, it was very interesting because I didn't say anything. And when the guy said, well, Sergeant Fleischman, you have to have something to say. You were the leader. The leaders always have something to say. What was your secrets? And I said, I just mumbled, well, I'm IMA soldier. I really don't have much to say. And they go, well, do you have any comment? I stood up. I walked over to Major Albanese. I looked him right in the face and I said, I guess the floor didn't need sweeping. And I turned around and walked away, and everybody busted up laughing because everybody remembered what he said 2 days earlier. He was going to sweep the floor with me. Well, anyway, how do we get onto this topic? how some guys can go real fast down the lane. That guy obviously that passed us has got his head into the trail. We've seen 3 or 4 people, and they were obviously walking much faster than us. Either A, because we're new at this, or we don't mind. In my case, I just mind taking my time. I don't fit in like everybody else running down the lane. That's what an INA soldier is. He does whatever he wants. He's a good guy, but he just does whatever he wants. That's what I was always.